agree, the presentation of a game is what guides my general interest, but I know that sometimes systems and mechanics hurt the overall experience. I wouldn't say that games like Greak Memories of Azure leans too far in either direction, but its beautifully animated designs can distract you for a few hours of engaging gameplay. However, the core features reduce it to a puzzling and mediocre adventure. Greak Memories of Azure quickly throws you into the gameplay as you control the character Greak, fighting against an invasion of enemies known as Urlags. Before long, you meet up with a group of survivors who inform you that they are building up an airship to escape to the lands of Azure. With your help, you'll be able to complete this mission. However, Greak isn't alone in this task, as his main drive of motivation is to meet up with his siblings, Adora and Raydell. Each character plays an intricate role in the overall adventure, as they are playable after reuniting. Missions are accepted at one of the last remaining safe areas and range by various tasks. The game does its best to make each NPC have a bit of personality, but it isn't necessary unless you completely invest yourself in the dialogue. I really like the organization of the missions, as there are a few different areas across the region that are available to explore. Markers detail if you're traveling in the right direction of the mission so you don't get completely lost, but it's still possible. This is mostly due to the minimal map detail in the game, including a very limited fast travel option, which costs gems to use. I could have used a few more fast travel points, as regions normally just have one, but the game likes to push you forward by limiting your traversal of backtracking. Once you enlist your siblings into the group, you'll encounter the game's main gimmick. You can control each character at the same time. However, this is where the frustration kicks in. I want to preface this by saying I'm surprised the developers even got this to work, because most of the time you see this type of feature, you'll simply play as one character and cycle through the others, but here you can constantly control all three. This causes a bit of confusion, since it's possible to group the characters up and run with all of them, but you have to keep them all together because jumping will make them all jump at the same time, even if one character is further behind or ahead, causing them to miss the timing and usually take damage. To counteract this, you can simply do the jump 3 times and switch to each character, but it's taxing on the player's time. Further, each character has their own health bar and items, which are limited to 3 at first and can be upgraded later on. There are a large pool of items to collect, but you'll never have enough room to hold everything. This adds a bit of strategy to the experience as you decide what to let go of, but there's no easy way to exchange items with the other characters or see what they're holding without switching to them. If that's not bad enough, a non-controlled character takes damage and if killed, causes game over. This is extremely annoying since you can't easily see their health bar when controlling a different character. Bosses even lock you into having all characters participate in the battle, but still the non-controlled characters can attack and avoid damage with you. But this is overly confusing, and I would have rather liked the group to momentarily split up while you fight a boss one-on-one. As it stands, you are constantly alternating between holding down the button to keep the characters together and then pressing the other button to make sure they're all grouped together and not spread too far apart. One cool thing that the character system allows are fun puzzles that have the party split up and navigate the puzzles together by interacting with different switches or buttons. Of course, it's mainly a way to slow down progression or test your skills for an upgrade reward, but I enjoyed it as it proves the multiple character feature can work. Throughout the game, attacks are upgraded for each character, adding more depth to the combat. As a result, the combat on its own feels tight and responsive. The enemies are fun to fight, but their respawn rate can be a bit random. At one point, I was just trying to complete a puzzle, but every time I interacted with one of the switches, a ranged enemy would appear and launch an attack. What made it worse is that enemy type vanishes after a few hits and reappears elsewhere, making this entirely easy puzzle a headache. Regardless of the execution of multiple characters, I found the game very fun to play through. It's challenging for sure, but has a nice sense of discovery. Each environment is fun to navigate through and explore. Further, the design of the enemies and characters is all beautifully animated to make this feel like you're playing through a cinematic cartoon. The soundtrack is also lovely and fuels many areas of exploration. Greak Memories of Azure has a gorgeous presentation and world to discover, but the added features, although unique, require a specific type of adventure fan to enjoy. Things become overly confusing and my muscle memory never seemed to adapt to the constant demand for accessing the menu and switching between characters. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but some elements are largely unnecessary. Noisy Pixel is giving Greak Memories of Azure a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please read the full review on noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.